I love this time when we get to prepare for meditation. So I invite you to get things out of your lap and get yourself grounded in your chair. We're just going to let the chair support you. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Allow yourself to go within as we begin to take some deep breaths in and out. Allow those shoulders to relax. Let your body just be supported by the chair. No place that you have to be, nothing that you have to do in this moment, but be present to spirit. Breathing in and breathing out that breath of God. Now I invite you to bring into your mind someone that you love so dearly. This is such a precious and special person to you that when you think about this one, your heart just expands in love and gratitude and appreciation. This is one that you cannot imagine not having in your life. And so you're breathing in, feeling that feeling of love for this one as it expands your heart space with every breath you take. You feel that love that you have. You remember the love that you are. And now you take that love that you feel and you expand it out to the person to the left of you, to the person to the right of you. And even if you're on Zoom, you're in like Hollywood Squares, you can send it to the next person to you on your left and then on your right. And now you can send it to the entire congregation. Breathing in and feeling that love that you are, that love that you came here to express. Sending it out to our country, to our world, and to our planet. And now I invite you in a moment of silence to feel that blessing of that love that you have remembered and created in your heart space this morning, in the silence. We know that God is love, and therefore we as extensions of the one are also love. Love is our essence. And it's not just a feeling, it's a principle. It's a makeup. It's a faculty of who we are and who we came here to be. And in this particular time of Advent, as we're moving toward that celebration of the birth of the Christ presence in us and that acknowledgement, we claim that in this moment. We claim that love. We know that we live from that place. And when we do, everyone in our essence, everyone feels us in our energy because we are expanding that love from our hearts, being the love that we came here to be. We say thank you, indwelling Spirit, for this sweet little reminder of the presence and the power of love that we came here to be. And now whenever you're ready, we bring ourselves back into this room. And whenever you're ready, just open your beautiful eyes. So, a couple of days ago, I was standing in this long checkout line in a department store, along with a lot of other people, and so I heard this couple standing right behind me. You can't help but hear people talking, and this lady was saying, oh, my back and my legs are really hurting, I don't know how much of this line I can take. I sure wish things would speed up. She was kind of whining, and the guy said, I'll tell you what, we're going to go home, you're going to put your feet up, and I'm going to put you in a Hallmark movie. How does that sound? And it reminded me, it reminded me that I lived that Hallmark thing, for 43 years with my husband. And that care and that love, he could have said, honey, quit whining, but he said, I'm going to take care of you when we get home. And it was just like, I know life is not like a Hallmark movie for a lot of people, but it's still fun to watch them. I know a lot of guys go, oh, the Hallmark movies, they're so drippy and so sweet, but there's always a happy ending, and I just love that. And so at Thanksgiving, we got to drive to Dahlonega, Georgia, and I got to walk around where they make the Hallmark movies, and we were all taking pictures, like, oh, I bet they made a Hallmark movie over here and over here. So I know it's not like that for everybody, but it just touched my heart that people can be kind and loving even in the midst of all the shopping chaos and everything else. There's love everywhere. If you look around, there's just love everywhere. And I personally have been so incredibly blessed by the love in my life, and I continue to be blessed by the love in my life because I believe it is the thing that we all need to be, not just in the holidays. And so this particular time, no matter what is going on around us, we still focus on this month, expecting the good. This is the last month of our whole 12-month series of looking at every aspect of our life and how we can be the best in our lives, how we can show up in the best way. And so social life is the last piece of our puzzle today, this month that we're looking at. And of course, social life is all about the holidays, isn't it? Ever since Thanksgiving, it's all about getting together and being together and all that. So it's such an important part that we're focusing on. And so we have this affirmation that we're saying for the month of December to highlight this. Let's say it together. Today, I see the world as an ever unfolding gift. I think that's what I love so much about the way the man spoke to the woman, was looking for the gift in whatever the challenge is, looking for a higher consciousness, looking for a higher way of being. I just love that. And I know some people think Christmas has lost its spark and everything's all about giving the perfect gift and all of that. But yes, maybe it's commercialized and all of that, but I love all of that. How many of you like finding that perfect gift for people and then watching them open it? It's like there's this whole thing. I love the decorating. I love the lights. I like the music. Last night, oh my God, I was at the chorale. Sandy was singing. There were all these, I don't know how many students from Lamar sang in the choir. 68 kids got up on the stage, and the joy and the love that is there. To me, that was like the opening of this magnificent Christmas gift. It opened my heart. It open my heart. Music does that for us. Those things that open our hearts. And so I like buying the gifts. I like watching the expressions on people's faces. And you know what I found? There are actually studies out there that look at how to buy the perfect gift for someone. Had you any idea? I had no idea. There are actually gifts, and one study I read said that gift giving is an important part of societal integration and interpersonal connection. Wow, right? Did you ever think that buying a gift would be that? So finding the perfect gift isn't always easy, right? Sometimes, but science shows there's like these principles that you can go by. One is that people like gifts that they've asked for, number one. Number two is it needs to be more usable than extravagant. If you're just trying to, impress somebody, you go out for the extravagant thing. But really, people are looking for more practical things. Cost isn't as important as the value as that gift is to the person. And number four, some people even prefer gift cards, so they can go and buy whatever they want. The main thing the study said is when gift givers put a lot of thought into a gift, you actually feel closer to the person that you're gifting because you've put the time and energy into it, right? So it's not necessarily, a purchased gift that you have to do. There are so many ways that you can be love and express your love in a gift, whether it's baking for someone or cooking a meal for someone or making a handmade something is also a good way to do it. There's all different sorts of ways that we can express our appreciation for others. Another way that we express our love is what we did in this church when instead of 25 kids, we got 65 kids. Wow. And so Carmen got this list from the school, and we were like, I think this is the whole fourth grade. I don't think this is just... So there were 25 families with 65 children. And, I never dreamed, because we normally give out 20 to 25 presents. We had 22 people sign up to give a gift. We gave out 60. We're covering 60 children, y'all. I mean, that is like amazing. I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud. It just makes my heart sing. It just makes my heart sing. Martin Luther King said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul motivated by love. Isn't that the truth? That is really the truth. And I know it's not easy for everybody. Holidays can be tough for people. I personally lost 2 friends in this last week, 2 Unity ministers that are dear to me. One was my teacher in school at Unity Village, and then Reverend Chris Chenoweth made his transition this week, and he dedicated all my prayer chaplains in my previous ministry. And so we were very close. And so it's not always easy at the holiday time to find that, but we have such a soul connection with everyone. A lot of you have had losses this year in your families. And so we celebrate them with the rituals. We continue in the rituals, don't we? And we remember them and we share memories of them. That's how we keep them alive, and that's how we keep that connection, and it helps us move through our grief. I want to go to the scriptures now. We are in 1 John chapter 4. You're familiar with this, verses 7 and 8, because the title of this section is God is Love. Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. So beautiful, that whole scripture, that whole section. We don't have time to read the whole thing, but I encourage you to go back and look at it. So our greatest gift is our capacity to love other people. Yes, to love ourselves, but to also to love other people, because it is the way that we make the greatest advances in our spiritual evolution And so what about those people that are hard to love? I know none of you have any of those people in your families, right? So what about those people that are hard to love? So remember our theme for this month? Expecting the good? You've got to look for the good. You've got to look for and find a quality in that person that you know is good. Now, you may have to dig deep, but you can find it. You can find, oh, they always have such nice hairdos, they always dress so nice. You can find something to love about anybody when you're looking for it. And the more you focus on the goodwill that you feel, do you know what happens? You are transformed. The love in your heart, because you're looking for goodwill in others that don't necessarily show that behavior to you, doesn't mean that you can't be that model, that role model, right? You can be that love for other people, especially those grouchy ones. You need to be that for them. You need to be that light in their lives. And so you look for the good in them, even though you have to maybe look a little bit more deeply than what you would like. But what happens is when we practice this, it changes our minds and it expands our hearts because we begin to see things differently. That's what living from love does for us. And it makes our lives so much better as a result of that because we're looking for love all over the place. So there's only one God, And so in spirituality, it's not what divides us that is important, but it is what is it that connects us, because there's so many religions, but there's still only one God. And almost every single religion has some golden rule aspect of it. And so we teach that if we follow that, we are living the true nature of God. And we will be more accepting and loving toward other people. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, discerned the 12 powers, or the 12 faculties that make up God, that make up who we are as well. And of course, John is the disciple that he discerned represents love. John represents that power of love, which is the most healing, harmonizing power that binds together the entire universe. You see, divine love loves for the sake of loving. That's it. It's really pretty simple. Like the sun that's always shining, that love is always present. Whether we're turning our light bulb on or not, or whether we're open-hearted and receiving or not, it is still shining. That divine love sees everything as good. In fact, I read a quote this week from Rumi. He said, "Love is the bridge between you and everything." Don't you love that? Between you and everything. So every single Christmas and Advent season, we get this opportunity to revisit that we are born of the one God, the one mind, the one heart. And that we all have hearts that are so filled with love that just want to be expressed. There is no limit to the love that we have. We can love many, many people at one time, right? We can have love for humanity. But it's how we choose to express it. And the only way to increase this experience is to learn how to feel it for yourself, in yourself, as the love that you are. It's not an exercise in your head. You can't intellectualize it because your intelligence only takes you so far. You have to move that 12 inches as we train our prayer chaplains. You have to get out of your head, quit worrying about what the words are, get into your heart and feel it. Experience it from that place. That's how you do what it was that Jesus came here to teach us, to how to be unconditional love in as many circumstances as we possibly can be, and express that love that we are. Our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, wrote, "The will is the man. We know that God is the great unlimited, and man, his image and likeness, must be of the same character. Consequently, we have the same freedom that God has to act in the fulfillment of desire. So I want to read you what he wrote. This is a really old book, Talks on Truth, but I think this is so relevant for today. Charles Fillmore says, "We may talk about the wisdom of God, but the love of God must be felt in the heart. It cannot be described. The one who has not felt it can have no concept of it from the descriptions of others. But the more we talk about love, the stronger it grows in the consciousness. And if we persist in thinking loving thoughts and speaking loving words, we are sure to bring into our experience the feeling of that great love that is beyond description, the very love of God." I like that so much. That's really who we came here to be, you see, because that's who we really are. Okay, it's time for a joke. Enough preaching. So, there were 3 animals that came to heaven at the same time. The first one was a German shepherd. And so God wants to know from the German shepherd what he believes in. And he says, "I believe in discipline, training, and loyalty to my master." And God said, "Good, you may sit on my right side." And so then he turns to the Doberman and he asks the Doberman. He says, "What is it that you believe, Doberman?" And he said, "I believe in the love and care and protection of my master." And God said, "Okay, you may sit on my left side." And so then he turns to the cat. And he said, "So cat, tell me what it is that you believe." And he said, "I believe you're sitting in my seat." Those of you that are cat owners understand that, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know. They think they rule the world, right? Tracy gave me that one. I thought that was so cute. I love animal jokes. Mustafa would be the one sitting in the seat, right? So I want to close today this beautiful booklet that Unity produces for our Advent season, The Light and Peace of Christmas. Today's says, "Love is our true nature." As we arrive at the midpoint of our Advent journey, be reminded that love is not a feeling but a principle. Love is the essence of our being, requiring nothing of us other than to be expressed. It rises within us like a single voice. It seeks its own, swelling within all who are willing to join its refrain. Bring the light of your true nature into the world and listen as the beautiful symphony it can inspire unfolds. That's the way it truly is this day. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And now is the time in our service when we get to bless our community with our tithes and our gifts. And for those of you that are online, that are watching on Zoom or watching it later on YouTube or Facebook, we appreciate your online giving, all the gifts that you give. For those of us that are here present now, let's say our blessing of tithes and gifts together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, that this is so. Thank you so much.